With football season upon us now, there's a lot happening in the news, so be sure to subscribe to my other channel, JG9 News, where I give you up-to-the-minute updates on everything happening in the NFL in a completely relaxed, unscripted format, and I give my thoughts on everything taking place around the National Football League today. And now, on with our feature presentation. Before going any further, let's get the elephant in the room out there right now. Unfortunately, as stupid as Colorado's clock management was at the tail end of this game, where they just threw the ball for some reason, despite having the game won, and despite being able to just run it 3 times to get out of there with a victory, it does not qualify as a dumb decision. Believe me, I wish it did. A dumb decision is something stupid that a coach does that made no sense at the start, and unfortunately, Deion Sanders did not make this atrocious call with about 1:40 left in the contest. Turns out, his son at quarterback called an audible and decided to chuck it deep down the field to pad his stats of one of his receivers who hadn't done a whole lot because he got a matchup that he liked. Was this stupid? Absolutely. Does this raise a ton of red flags going into the NFL draft for an otherwise extremely talented quarterback? You bet. But because Deion Sanders didn't make this call, as dumb as it was, I can't do a dumb decisions video on it. Believe me, you have no idea how much I want to clown on Deion for his in-game management, and I'm guessing I'll have plenty more chances to do so this season. But this one wasn't on him. Much like I couldn't do one on the ending of the first half in the Bills-Giants game last year, because Tyrod Taylor audibled into that play, and it wasn't Brian Dable making the move, even though it was a stupid play, I can't do one here. So we'll just play this rant I had in real time as I was streaming the game on how dumb that was. And then, we'll get on with the actual crux of the video for the actual dumb decision that a coach made that deserves to be dissected. Keep in mind, I usually stream in my studio with my fancy helmet background behind me and with everything decked out, but I'm at my parents' place visiting for a few days, so ignore the background. I promise you next week, it's going to look a heck of a lot nicer.
No, take a knee. You don't have to call plays. You don't have to call. Oh my God, they're throwing. They're actually throwing the ball. They're throwing the ball. I'm going to have a stroke. I'm going to have a stroke. They're throwing the ball. They're legitimately throwing the ball. They're legitimately throwing the ball. You just have to run 3 times. It's over. You just have to run it 3 times. First down, you run, it goes down to 136. North Dakota State calls a timeout. Second down, you run, it goes down to 131 plus the 40 seconds. That's 51. Third down, you run the ball, 46 seconds. Goes another 40 seconds on the clock. That's 6. Fourth down, you just throw up a Hail Mary. I'm going to lose my mind. I'm going to lose my mind. I'm going to legitimately lose my mind. I'm legitimately going to lose my mind. They literally have the game won. Why the hell would you throw? They literally have the game won. They just had to run 3 times, and fourth down, either get the punt off, take the intentional safety, or throw like one of those Hail Marys that goes out of bounds. That just kills clock. They legitimately had the game won. They legitimately had the game won. I said barring a Mario Cristobal moment, and we got a Mario Cristobal moment. This is nuts to me. I'm losing my mind. I'm losing my mind on this one.
Alright, with that, let's get on to the actual dumb decision. August 29th, 2024. It's week 1 of the college football season, and we find ourselves in Boulder, Colorado for this FBS on FCS matchup between Colorado and North Dakota State. For the Bison, they're obviously underdogs going into this game, but this is a chance for them to show the world that they are back. With a new head coach in charge in Tim Polasek, and after an underwhelming season last year by their standards where they lost 4 games, which was their worst year since 2010, this is a chance for them to regain the reputation as a giant killer. And so far, the game is pretty close, as with 2:19 left in the contest, the Bison only find themselves down by 5 points following a touchdown, but a failed 2-point conversion. Now, the clock management on that touchdown drive was not ideal, as they took a crap ton of time off the clock, including calling a run on 1st and 10 when their running backs got nothing going the entire contest and where they huddled on multiple occasions. We are down by 2 scores. Maybe it's not the best idea to have a drive take 5 minutes when it doesn't have to. Regardless, North Dakota State has 2 timeouts and the 2-minute warning at their disposal. If they can get a stop here and force a 3-and-out and do so before the 2-minute warning, oh man, they're cooking. They have a real chance to win this one with how poor Colorado's defense is. First down, and it's a quick pass behind the line of scrimmage that goes absolutely nowhere. So North Dakota State does the smart thing, and they call a timeout. They do the smart thing that anyone would do in this spot, and they stop the clock so they can have more time to, Coach? Why are you not taking the timeout? I know it's your first game in charge and you haven't been in this position of power before, but seriously, why are you not taking the timeout? Why not give yourself more time? Why are you not calling a timeout? Welcome to Dumb Decisions. Before I break down what happened here, this whole series is about taking an in-depth look at decisions made during games that were clearly awful from the start. This isn't something to look bad in hindsight. Rather, this is something to look awful almost immediately. These are moves where your gut instinct tells you right away that there is no way this can possibly work. And sure enough, your gut instinct was smarter than that of a college head coach. And for this one, we're taking a look at the mind of North Dakota State head coach Tim Polasek. For a first game, holy crap, this was a bad one. For a first game, this man seemed completely incompetent in terms of in-game management and knowing what the heck he was doing, because it's as though this man has never operated a clock before in his life. First off, North Dakota State should have never been in a position to have to decide with just over 2 minutes left whether to onside kick it or not, because they took way too long on that touchdown drive of theirs, which was entirely their fault. The fact that they were huddling and called run plays on 1st and 10 and took so much time off the play clock down by 2 scores was appalling. But then, once Colorado got the ball back, oh man, that was abysmal. And if this is an indication of how the Tim Polasek era in North Dakota State is going to go, buckle up, because there's a reason that South Dakota State has completely overtaken you guys. So with that being said, let's take a look at why not calling a timeout after the first down play with 2:13 left is a really bad idea. At the end of the day, you need 2 things to happen to win the game, realistically speaking. Number 1, you need to get a 3-and-out. If you don't get a 3-and-out, the game is basically over barring Colorado deciding to do something stupid. And number 2, you need to get the timeouts and have as much time as possible to try and drive the length of the field. So seeing as you need to get the 3-and-out, or else it's really tough to get the ball back, and seeing as you have 2 timeouts plus the 2-minute warning, you should get the timeouts in as quickly as possible so you can actually get the ball back with time. Let's go to the chalkboard for this one. Let's say you do the smart thing and call timeout with 2:13 left. Well, that gives you 1 timeout and the 2-minute warning. Second down, the play takes 5 seconds, you get the stop, and you call timeout with 2:08 left. Now, you've got the 2-minute warning left as a de facto timeout. Third down, the play takes 5 seconds, and it goes down to the 2-minute warning after that. This means that Colorado was punting the ball off with 2 minutes left in the contest. So you force the punt, and you're getting it back with about 1:53 left in the contest, assuming the punt takes 7 seconds, which is pretty reasonable. That gives you 1 minute and 53 seconds to move the length of the field, which obviously isn't ideal, but it is a pretty good amount of time, all things considered. It's the best case scenario barring a turnover. However, let's say you do whatever the heck Tim Polasek did, which is not call a timeout right after the play ended, meaning that the clock runs down to the 2-minute warning after first down. Second down, and the play takes 5 seconds, so you call a timeout with 1:55 left. Third down, that play takes 5 seconds, so you call a timeout with 1:50 left. Now, you force a punt, but the punt takes 7 seconds, just like the other scenario. However, this time, instead of having 1:53 left to drive down the field, you've only got 1:43, which means you've got, in all likelihood, 2 fewer plays to drive the length of the field. Again, your only goal here is giving yourself the best chance to drive the length of the field with no timeouts. So you want to have as many plays and as much time as possible to do that. Which gives you a better chance at doing that? Having 1:53 left on the clock, or having 1:43 left on the clock? Clearly, it's the first one. It's the bigger number. It's the one that has more time on the clock because it means that you can call 2 extra plays. But now, you can't. You left 10 seconds and 2 plays on the field for no reason whatsoever, all because you had no idea how to manage a clock. Or, let's look at what happens if, hypothetically, you allow a first down on second down, so the play after that one. You call a timeout right away, versus if you don't call a timeout. Back to the chalkboard we go. First down, and you call the timeout with 2:13 left. Second down, and Colorado gets the 10 yards that they need to move the chains, but you call timeout with 2:08 left. You have no timeouts left, but first down, and Colorado runs the ball and takes it down to the 2-minute warning. Second down, and Colorado runs the ball to take 5 seconds off the clock to 1:55, followed by another 40 seconds off the play clock to 1:15. Third down, and Colorado runs the ball to take 5 seconds off the clock to 1:10, followed by another 40 seconds off the play clock to 30 seconds. That means that you're getting the ball with 23 seconds left, assuming a pretty typical 7-second punt. Obviously not ideal, but you have time to get about 30 yards in 3 plays to set yourself up for a Hail Mary, assuming a touchback on the punt. But let's say you don't call the timeout right away, which is what Tim Polasek decided to do like a moron. First down, and you don't call a timeout with 2:13 left, so the clock goes down to the 2-minute warning. Second down, and Colorado gets the first down, so now you call a timeout with 1:55 left, but Colorado's got a new set of downs. However, instead of getting that new set of downs with 2:08 and the 2-minute warning, that new set of downs is with 1:55. First down, and Colorado runs the ball to take 5 seconds off the clock, where Polasek calls timeout with 1:50. Second down, and Colorado runs the ball to take 5 seconds off the clock to 1:45, followed by another 40 seconds off the play clock to 1:05. Third down, and Colorado runs the ball to take 5 seconds off the clock to 1 minute, followed by another 40 seconds off the play clock to 20 seconds. That means that you're getting the ball back with 13 seconds left, assuming a 7-second punt. And no, you are not the Kansas City Chiefs. This means that, considering the depth of the routes that will be run here, you need to get 30 yards in one play to set yourself up for a Hail Mary. And if you cannot do so, your only chance is some pitchy woo-woo play for 80 yards that is going to go absolutely nowhere. Once again, you just completely screwed yourself over, all by just not knowing how and when to call a timeout and how to manage a clock. It's no secret that when you need to drive the length of the field at the end of the game and you do not have the ball, you'll want to have as much time as possible to be able to accomplish this feat. And you do that by knowing when to effectively burn your timeouts. Safe to say, when it came to Tim Polasek, that most definitely did not happen. There were only 2, and I truly mean it, 2 plausible explanations for this stupidity, since there was no press conference afterwards or any access made available to Coach Polasek. Number 1 is that he didn't want to score with too much time left on the clock for Colorado, which is such a dumb theory considering you need to get a stop and go the length of the field and you were strapped for time regardless. And I genuinely can't believe that the guy who couldn't think about when it was the right time to use a timeout would be smart or savvy enough to think 3 possessions ahead. You had to call the timeouts there to give yourself a better chance to win the game and get more plays. And you didn't do it. Simply put, you didn't do it. Or, number 2, you forgot that there was a 2-minute warning, since college football just added that this year. And if there wasn't a 2-minute warning, in fairness, then it didn't matter when you took the timeouts, because it would have been the same time remaining no matter what. It's still a stupid theory because of what happened at the end of the first half, where NDSU intentionally ran the clock down and didn't want to get a playoff before the 2-minute warning. And it also doesn't make you look any better if that is true, because you should know these things as a coach. That's kind of your job. And just in case you're wondering whether this is hindsight bias talking, and how no coach can be expected to come up with this in real time, here's me streaming the game and talking everything through in real time, just so you can see that I'm not Friday morning quarterbacking here. Again, not my regular studio location, so bear with me on that one. It's going to get better next week.
Play action screen pass behind the line. It's caught by Hunter. And Hunter, who's got 3 touchdowns today, going nowhere there. Body slam to the ground at the 25. Timeout on the field. Oh, come on. Is this coach not calling timeout? You get extra plays that way. No, what? Oh, my God. Jesus Christ. Dumb decision. Dumb decision not calling timeout there. Dumb freaking decision not calling timeout. Let's do the math here. 2-minute warning. Let's do the math in real time. Let's say call timeout there. Play took to 2:13. You call timeout there. That's 1. Then the next play, you got to stop. 2:08. You call timeout. 3rd down, you got to stop. 2 minutes. And they punt with 2 minutes left. You get it back with 1:53, let's say. However, by not calling timeout, take down to 2-minute warning. That's the first timeout, essentially. 2nd down, play takes 5 seconds. 1:55. You call timeout. 3rd down, play goes to 150. You call timeout. That's your 3rd. 4th down, you punt off. You get it with 143. 143 versus 153. You have 2 less plays to work with. You just screwed yourself out of 2 extra plays. Obviously, it doesn't matter when you call timeout in terms of getting the stop, because if you don't get the stop, it's over no matter what. You don't get a stop here. It's over no matter what. So now you just lost 10 seconds for no reason. They could have had to drive down the field to get a touchdown, and you wasted 2 plays in the process. Good job, North Dakota State coach. You're really killing it today with the clock management. Holy cow, you're killing it with the clock management. Holy crap. They just screwed themselves out of 2 plays.
So what do we learn from all of this? If you have the opportunity to call timeouts and increase the time you have remaining in the game to drive down the field and take the lead, then do it. For the love of God, do it. If your only chance of winning is to score and you need to go the length of the field to do it, then it makes sense that you want to take that option, if at all possible, that gives you more time to score, thereby giving you more plays to score. You have better odds that way. It just makes sense. Some urgency would be helpful, and some urgency can go a really long way. And I don't care that this is your first game in charge. If you can't manage a clock, then you have no business being a head coach at the Division I level, especially at a school like North Dakota State. Because when all of these elements are in play, you can't exactly be surprised when this play backfires. Talk about a dumb decision. Get your official Jaguar Gear 9 merchandise by going to jj9shop.com, and be sure to like and subscribe, as it really helps the channel out a lot. Join me every Wednesday night where we'll play NFL Trivia for cash prizes at 9 p.m. Eastern over on Twitch. To learn more about the history of college football, subscribe to Jaguar Gator 8. To learn more about the history of Major League Baseball, subscribe to Jaguar Gator 7. Also, special thanks to all of our Patreon supporters for helping out the channel. Your support is greatly appreciated. See how you can become a patron and request future video topics in the description below.